Okay. I just want to start off with thank you, God. Uh, Thank you, thank you. I mean, it's annoying that as a target individual, they try to create a false reality, and it is so pathetic sometimes. I laugh about it knowing that it's not going to change what's going to happen to me. Matter of fact, I know me laughing about it, it's going to make it worse because these people just get frustrated that I'm not identified with this. Because if you hear how obviously sad and pathetic these people are, it's crazy. I just heard some people in the hallway just making noise, giving you pay for it, and the characters that they play, for them to make me accept this manipulation is pathetic. But that's their job, because I know what they're really about, and I know what this is about. I know the government is running this program where they're altering the mind of people, and I'm a test subject, and they do the things they've done to so many others. But it is just so pathetic. I rather die in hell. Now they tell me these horrible things that they're gonna take turn. They're gonna just like, listen, whatever horrible way I'm gonna go is not gonna do a single thing in regard of how you're gonna die. It's not gonna change what is supposed to happen to you. But I'm glad that you do what you do because you're bottom feeder. And the truth is, the reality is so nasty to you. It's so fair. The reality is so fair to me because it makes me understand what this is really about. They use children. I had a body cam, and when I went to the laundromat, I saw some like childlike people. Like at the point, she wanted to be seen so much by me, and I'll make a video about that because it's disturbing. Because I said something before, these people sold their soul to pedophiles, and they sold the children's soul to pedophiles. It's so pathetic to see a child wanting to be seen so they can manipulate me in this way. And this is the kind of things that's with confidence talking to me. I'm not gonna. Of course, I will blur the picture, because I don't want them to feel. I don't want them to feel like they're just the trash. There's no point to showing their faces. But my point is like these are the people tell me who I am. These are the investigators. Look how clown like they look like. It's embarrassing almost. Look at her just waiting for. It's just so disgusting. And you see the confidence they have because the empowerment that they get as perps to be involved in a program where we test subjects are just manipulated in every way possible. You mean the ultimate manipulation can be done to us? Every kind of manipulations can be applied onto us. Our whole life is orchestrated. So this little retarded child can feel special because whatever's going to happen to me is going to happen to me regardless, and she's involved in that in a very minuscule way, but but she's at least participating in a one way or another. At least she can be an observant of it. So you know how special that must be feel when you're just a nobody who will look at you. You can within the last 2 seconds living on your own. So, as a target individual, you gotta see these perps for what they are, and the humiliations. They like to try to find. For me, it's been a consistency of trying to make me feel like now will you pay for what you did as a child. You know how embarrassing it is to know that if I was a perp like them, I work for a program where we torture children. We do. He knows that we are these governmental entities. We've worked at least for this government entity that use children to as test subject. He's not gonna go through this. This psyop is over. Matter of fact, there's been people calling out a specific psyop. This podcast literally say these people try to create this false reality where they try to present themselves as everything or anything but the mass government running this program. And for me, I'm like, of course I know. Of course, look at you. You think I could see somebody like you doing this thing to me because of you or the fam? But like, what? Of course, this is retarded. I will never look at it in that way. It's impossible. It doesn't make sense. Now I can see that you're trying to present this facade. Matter of fact, I think you at this point they try to compensate for that. My death is going to happen because I was put in a program where they use test subjects. And these governmental entities with a lot of issues that have been well documented are using test subjects, and they've been doing these things for decades. They've been torturing human beings for the purpose of developing technology that can alter the mind for years. For years. And to have this level of validation makes people very angry because they want you to still identify or accept this fantasy. So they're like, oh, you're going to be castrated, you're going to be decapitated. It's like, oh, everything that you can do. You can't even say the name Roy Moore. Why? I know who's running the show. I know this is a governmental entity. The rest is going to be theatrical. You know who's torturing children? I'd rather get raped every day in my life than be involved in a program that tortures children. There's a child that's no longer with us. A 14-year-old dead because a target individual lost his mind and killed 18 people. This is real. Well, this trust are like, yo, pay, we're going to pay. Pedos. They have blood of children on their hands. For me, it's been a lot of manipulations of all sorts of things. That's a job. It's a cognitive warfare. Our brain are used as a weapon. Our own brain, the target individual's brain is utilized as a weapon. They override their thoughts. They manipulate their thoughts. It's disgusting. It's manipulative all the time. And then they use these bottom feeders with no self-respect who sold their own children to pedophiles. To try to make you accept these things. You know, as I was thinking about this, they tell me how I'm going to get raped. I was like, and what's going to happen to you again? Do you know? Did you figure out what's going to happen to you yet? You don't, huh? Okay. These people use our brain and disorient us and manipulate us in these disgusting ways. This has been what they've been doing for years and other people. The man who killed 18 people, guess what they were calling him? Very unique thing. They were calling him a pedophile. The man killed 18 people. He shot a place on youth night when there was kids playing, bowling. He killed a child, another one, a 10-year-old got shot in the leg. This is real. You hear this trash, you pay this trash ass. And these are perps, they're contracted for that. They have blood on, children's blood on their hands. They've been manipulating people in these ways. And they still want me to be like, no, we mapped imbecile. You know why you're doing this? This is how you break people down. This is why people lose their mind. Every time I'm going to look at a child, you're going to force me to get stimulations. That's what you've done to me. That's what you've been doing to Mariana. That's what you've done to Jackie. Matter of fact, almost all targeted individuals said something about that. The pedophilia type of torture is not my word. It's the word of a target individual who literally said that. A woman who's not only getting the pedophilia type of torture but being raped using this defense technology. They utilize this technology to do so much horrible things that they involve in atrocities implemented on even children. They can't play any fierce character. They're the cowards. While when a target individual loses their mind, guess who gets shot? Oh no, not this fierce femme fatale. No. The children. In every way, they've been seen for the coward and the low life that they are by me. And that has caused them to make them like craving for my torture. Craving to be killed in horrible ways, in a theatrical way, in hopes that that's going to change reality. Do you understand living this life? They, in any moment, they expect something to come back to them. They used to tell me how I should expect these bad things to. Oh no! I should hope that bad things come to them. They used to say that, hope for it, huh? With the utmost confidence, they don't say that anymore. Because they understand that I don't need to hope for that. Meaning hope for something bad to happen to people involved in this. I don't need to. It's going to happen. You know that. Now, am I going to hope for my death? If I'm tortured to that point, I'm sure that I'll be like, okay, God, please take me away because it's too painful. But hoping for them to get theirs is the sky blue? Is the sun going to set? Is the sun's going to rise? I don't need to hope for that. It's going to happen, right? That's like that. Especially when you throw your trash children, your retard as children into that. And they try to use the kids. Nah, pay. Now bring Aaron Young back. That's a 14-year-old kid who's dead. While this trash behind the doors are being the fiercest. I'm just thankful to God I didn't even lose my mind to the point where I harmed somebody. Even if it's one of these bottom feeders. The memory manipulations has been used as a tool to try to make me accept this manipulation I'm experiencing today. But the stupidity of it all is a lot of memory manipulation they want me to identify with as memory manipulation of me when I'm a child. These grown people are working for governmental entities where there's so much issue with pedophilia. The government was ranked 19th out of 2,900. Out of 2,900 for trafficking some of the most child porn. There's a whole bill, and this bill is called and National Defense Abuse Act. This bill is meant to limit the amount of child porn that the employee at the DOD are downloading using, let me repeat that, using Department of Defense computers and network specifically. It's not even trying to limit the amount of pedophiles that they employ. They gave up on that. They're just trying to limit the amount of child porn these employees are downloading using computers that the Department of Defense give them. Do you understand the nastiness of that? Imagine me. Imagine just regular porn. Using your work computer to download regular porn. These people not only download porn, but child porn specifically, disgustingness. On devices the government gives them. So much so. Let me repeat that, so much so that Child Protective Services ranked these people that this trust work for as number 19 out of 2,900 networks. Now, what does that mean about these governmental entities? Well, these people are manipulating memories of my childhood. And like, now you pay. This program alone tortured children. They torture children. Kids as young as 3 years old sexually violated by this technology. I know this. Can you imagine? There's plenty of testimony of all kinds of abuses. Sexual, psychological, physical, of all sorts. I know this. This man who killed 18 people, let me bring that up. 18 people died, a 14-year-old died, a 10-year-old got shot in the leg. In every ways, you see these people are not here to protect children. They're not here to map your brain. They are here to manipulate you. Because this is a cognitive warfare where we target individuals are test subjects. And they do this common thing that you're going to hear a lot of times. A lot of target individuals say that. They do the pedophilia type of torture. So, these people who do these things to me are like, no, there's something there. It's like, yes, I wonder what it is. What has been the consistent thing that I keep hearing? What is that? What torture, psychological torture I keep hearing? Maybe it's the pedophilia type of torture that I keep hearing. Where they force people to get sexual stimulation toward children. Maybe that's the something. I don't know. Maybe I'm guessing here. Let me see. Maybe it's a theater. That maybe it's the way they have been manipulating other people. Can you imagine for them to validate themselves? It's even memories of my childhood. They've been doing this manipulation continuously in ways that makes no sense, because what they've been trying to do, unfortunately for them, is bring up what I did for as a child. There's an act of a child that happened that, of course, is inappropriate, but it's never going to be to the extent that they want to. But they're going to work with what they have. They're going to utilize that as like, no, you're going to pay for that, pay. I mean, you're going to hear some of the foulest atrocities happening to children because of this program. But they're going to work with whatever they can. This is something they're going to try to create. Like, now, you see what you're experiencing today, you used to experience that before as a child. And we're making your brain be a child again. Right? And they hold on to that every time. Even me speaking about it right now, somebody comes up, like, they're going to be castrating you. I was like, I'd rather get my penis castrated than try to box in this stupidity of a logic while working a program that literally torture children sexually. Do you understand the theatrical of torture they're going to have to do to try to make themselves feel better? While I'm listening to a woman saying, I'm seeing this child suffocating, a 7-year-old child, and I see this 4-year-old and this 5-year-old grabbing themselves because they are being violated by this weapon that can do things to you remotely. Do you understand having that associated with you? And you're talking about a child inappropriate action while you're involved in that, or at least involved in a program that is doing this and capable of doing this. It's humiliating. It's embarrassing, and it's degrading. On top of that, a man just killed 18 people, 14-year-old child died. But the same woman who said, I'm seeing this child being tortured this way, is the same woman, hey, I'm also getting this thing called pedophilia type of torture. I smell baby powder, and they make me have these pedophilia type of reactions. And she's not the only one. A mother with children who she saw being tortured too. Say, oh, they start doing this other thing, these new manipulations, this perverted program or program of perversion. And they start aiming that towards children. They start making me have sensation toward children. You know, as I was saying that, they'll make some noise campaign slamming the door. Doing all this noise campaign. When we see each other, I'm thinking these people are involved in a program that torture and kill kids. The program that's run by these governmental entities are so pedophilia-centric. There is a whole bill called and National Defense Abuse Act, because people that contract these losers are doing so much child porn, but they want to be God so much that they sold their soul to these pedophiles. As a matter of fact, they sold their children's soul to pedophiles. And then the program, they're here suffocating children, blinding them. How do I know this? Am I making this up? Or maybe did I hear some testimonials that I keep bringing up or many times? It's because I hear the testimonies and they hate us. These people have blood of children on their hands and will continuously, even after I die, do horrible things to children. They wanted to fund it like this, oh yeah, Benji, now you're paid for what you did as a kid. Can you imagine when I hear what they do to children? So going back to my memories, to create a pattern, like I said, they are creating false patterns. Reality is what they can create. They have accepted that their job, and it is their job, is to create a false reality. But not only create a false reality, try to make me identify to this false reality. As retarded, I'm sorry for the language, but as retarded as it sounds, they're going to sell this false reality. And so what they're doing is manipulating my memories. In my childhood, I made this video before, but I make so many videos that sometimes the way I title my videos are not the best. And like I said in that video, they were looking for how they can create this sensation stimulation to make me have, and put that in my memories as a child, as a kid. Can you imagine that that is your logic? That's your rationale. That we're making you, an adult brain, have a brain of a developing brain of a child. You know, I just heard like there was like this thing. I heard a seventh grader talk in this like interview, and I'm like, my gosh, this sounds like a kid. It's like a baby. Hearing this seventh grader, I'm like, can you imagine if I'm a grown man, a grown woman, and try to make an adult? For example, the person that's hearing this question, this kid is asking, I'm like, hey, we might be in your brain to this kid's brain. Us who happen to do the pedophilia type of torture. It's embarrassing. But that's the job, because the truth is, here it is. This is, we're just test subjects. They need people to do these things to because the future seems like the future warfare, at least. Like somebody said, is going to be a cognitive warfare. It is no longer going to be people shooting each other. Instead, why shoot somebody when you can manipulate their brain, degrade their brain, alter their mind, create this false personality, and understand why there's so much effort. Talk about somebody's childhood. Do you think that makes sense? There's people right now harming children. They talk about some childhood inappropriate. I have understood, but that's their life. Because I'm a test subject, and they're going to allocate whatever resources to get the results, to improve this technology, this program, and this database. That's why they're damning themselves to these points. But I'm glad they live this life. Whatever God-like feeling they feel, whatever special feelings they get from knowing what's going to happen to me, that's the price. You're going to have to see reality over and over and over and have to counter reality. Watch how reality comes to you in a way that you don't even expect it. In ways that is just, and some of them, they're already like, they have nothing to show for already. They're childlike people. They have nothing. They have a chip on their shoulder and feel special because they have nothing. So somebody who never accomplished anything, working in a program where this is over. Like, as soon as you put in this program, it's done. Matter of fact, they tell me how I'm finished today, but I'm like, yo, if this is how I finish, I'm thankful. Because now, Jesus, I have so much validation. It's going to end with more validation, even though my brain is completely fried up and overtaken. But today, how it ended is better than how it would have ended 3 years ago. Because now it's just like stacked up with much validation. A lot of validation. A lot of validation from all sorts. I heard the atrocities done to women, to children. I heard the mass shooting that just happened. But it was not any mass shooting, but it was the largest mass shooting of the year. The 10th in the country, the 10th in the history of America. Happened right here as they're manipulating me. In real time. And there'll be more. Because this was not the first one, and it's not going to be the last one. But it happened while this trash was creating these storylines. Can you imagine everybody around you try to gaslight you, and you have this, okay, block that out. Block that out, because now we're talking about actual death of some kid that was not even a target individual. Block the death of this 14-year-old while you trashing behind, calling how daring you are behind the doors. While these poor kids get shot. And you guys are the cowards of the century. Calling this a war. So memory manipulation is being used to create these false patterns. One of the false patterns, one of the memories I made a video long ago. Well, not long ago, but I made a video about it, not, about that specific. Is how they go in my childhood and create these sensation stimulations. And especially when black little girls, they do these things. Because what happened when I was a kid happened once. in my childhood. They try to create stimulation. Says try to create something else. It's trying to create like you see when mapped and you feel like that. You see that moment you feel like that moment, and they still talk about me like 14 years old, 13 years old, then younger. And like now, kill yourself. Like please live this life as long as. Please let that be your happiness. Please. Because what they're doing is the memory when I was getting my hair braided, and I'm gonna call this a cornrow so I can go back to. I remember getting my hair braided, and you heard this. If you've watched my videos, you heard that. I was 14 years old, or just turned 14 years old, and I remember getting my hair braided. As I was getting my hair braided, it was hurtful. It was hurting me because I didn't have much hair. So if you know about hair, if you my older cousin was making a cornrow, and and my older cousin I was hurting, and then I see my younger little cousin who's like 4 years old, and she was like hitting me because she was happy, because usually she's the one crying when they braid her hair, but this time I was crying, and this is gonna sound familiar. I made this video before. I just kind of don't remember the title I made for that, but as she hit me, I can see her, and I'm like, I stop it, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna, and I know she was happy as I say that this stimulated me, because she was like happy that this time I'm the one crying, and she was like, creating stimulation. No, Jesus. The way they create stimulation is to find whatever they can create in my childhood, and they're taking something else and just create the stimulation. And she do that, and she's just happy, and I'm like, I'm going to stop. And they're changing the stimulation into something sexual, right? But the sexual reaction that I will have in my childhood when I was like playing mom and dad with some kid of my age or around my age, just playing with stimulation and sensation in my childhood to try to create these things. Now, can you imagine what you're doing to make you accept me as an adult? The manipulation I'm experiencing today is my childhood falsified memories that you're creating. And they try to be like, no, they're not. I'd rather get knifed, stabbed, raped, tortured, out screaming pain than living life when I'm capable of doing everything I want in my life, and manipulate a man to have these reactions, and then to have this retarded of a rationality. Well, I'm working for governmental entities that's so pedophilia-centric, let me repeat that, so pedophilia-centric, that a bill was created specifically to limit the amount of child porn these employees working for the DOD, which is basically these trash's bosses, this trash's boss, from downloading child porn. And they are manipulating the memories of a child in middle school. And that now we're analyzing. Trash, you can't even stop these employees that run you this program from downloading child porn using the government devices. And you're here trying to make me believe these false memories, and try to think that my childhood memory is going to make me accept my adult life right now. Delusional trash, but that's their job. Because what they think they do is they manipulate men and women to have sexual reaction to children. And it's been obvious, and it's a clear pattern that I'll bring up 1 billion times if I have to. Because what it means these people have to turn off their brain. Continuously put themselves more retarded. It ended, if today is the last day, it ended with this level of knowledge. I was thinking these people should start like, I don't know if they believe in gods and in Santa Maria, in voodoo and whatever, but I don't know what they gotta do. But man, I would be terrified to see what's gonna happen to me next. Because this guy, he's gonna go through whatever horrible thing, but he understood what this was about, and I sold my soul to these pedophiles. Truly. Because this pedophilia issue is a true problem in this Pentagon, and DOD and U.S. intelligence community, and it's been an issue for a long time. And my job is to make a man or a woman feel reaction towards children, day in and day out. I eat, sleep, drink that shit. And kids have actually died because some people have lost their mind to the point where they went to a place and shot everything there, including children. And they just happened 3-4 months ago. And this trash love to say, oh, wow, we dare. It's like, yeah, you're the biggest terrorist ever. That's why you got shot in the leg like Zoe, the 10-year-old guy got shot. What's the daring PJ of the day? What's the walk of that? You know, with me they have this like weird walk around. Ugh, look at you. You know I'm not an aggressive person. Do that to somebody a target vision with a little bit of aggression. Watch what happens. You see, watch how daring you would be. And these people, they love life the most. These people want to live the longest life possible. They are cowards in low life. Do not, target individual, do not accept these manipulations. Whatever childhood memories that is like, I can't even imagine how sad it is too. Can you imagine today? They're making me think of like the worst thing is like I'm hearing the death of children, the torture of children, how pedophilia centric, and me I'm like, no, it's like when you're middle school, 14, 13, 14-year-old, this happened. I was like, my gosh, can you imagine living your life where their ways of for you to accept what's happened to you is to make you think of you as a kid, and having a childlike individual who's supposed to agitate me into accepting this and say, no, they are. I pray that they continue to live this life as long as possible. If this is a winner, man, wait till you see who's analyzing. Wait till you see this video. It is pathetic. You see a father, and this kid is wanting to be seen, and you can see her like looking at me, and having this weird smile. And mind you, I'm not even looking at her. I have my body cam because I know if I look at her, they're gonna stimulate me. So she's looking at me. She's not knowing that I'm not looking at her, and she's just like staring at me, just like smiling. And I didn't even know that was happening. I didn't even know it was happening because I'm not even gonna look at this little trash. She's a fucking kid trying to. I'm not. And then today they try to bring her up, and I'm looking at this. This kid is like looking at me, just embarrassment. Embarrassment. Like she was just trying to. Oh no, trash. And the dad is right next to her. It's embarrassing. They sold their soul to these pedophiles. Now when I saw the video, like 2-3 hours, now they give me stimulation. But I couldn't imagine. I was like, this little kid all along was doing that. The camera is showing that it's disgusting. It's disgusting. I told these people sold their soul to pedophiles. Can you imagine a father allowing your child to do that? Make yourself look at her and smile and do it. Disgusting trash. If I would have seen this kid, they would have done the stimulation crazy. She was smiling again. It's disgusting. In front of her, I was saying something about, I was like, look, they sell this kid. I would have died in hell. Then living this nasty paradise they live in. Death comes to all of us. I could have lived life. Oh, Jesus. It's so disgusting. And I hear some people thanking these people for letting this happen. To letting their children to act this way. Death comes to all of us. Have some dignity. Respect yourself. To all my target individuals, do not identify and be thankful to God that you are not one of these people who have no self-respect at this point. I don't care how much financial incentives or whatever incentive they get out of it. There is no way that a man or woman should let their children, first of all, act this way. And there should be no man or woman who can make themselves this dumb and be able to look at themselves in the mirror and respect themselves. But they do. I'm glad I didn't adjust myself to be able to do that. Thank you, God. So all my target individuals, stay strong.